What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Brooke turns down Nick's proposal, and Deacon throws a party. Ridge cheats on Taylor. After Brooke Logan declines Nick Maroon proposal, the Bold and the Beautiful suggests that Deacon Sharp will throw a party. Let's talk about what lies ahead for B&B, because Ridge Forrester will also deceive Taylor Hayes. With an engagement ring box, Nick will sneak up on Brooke at work. Once Nick opens it and shows off the bling, he'll try to convince Brooke to marry him and kick off a new chapter. However, Ridge has Brooke's heart. She might not be able to give Nick the commitment he wants after the way Ridge saved Brooke in Italy. It appears Brooke will reject Nick's marriage pitch while Ridge sits Taylor down for an important discussion. Ridge might have in mind telling Taylor about the kiss he had with Brooke after he saved her life. Naturally, plans don't always work out as planned on soaps. It's possible that Ridge won't actually confess to that kiss, and even if he does, Taylor could argue that it was a spur-of-the-moment incident. Regardless, Taylor won't intend on taking off her engagement ring and will suggest it's time to send Brooke down another path. Later, Deacon will host a party at Il Giardino. There'll be some sort of celebratory event, so that could involve the success of Forrester's Italy trip or perhaps a bash to celebrate Liam Spencer's survival. Even though Grace Buckingham was a con artist, Liam felt as though everything was very real to him as he went through it. The fact that Liam isn't dying of cancer is still a good reason to celebrate, even if there was never any danger of that happening. Naturally, when Liam faced Luna Nozawa at the beach house, he came very close to losing his life. Fortunately, Liam survived and will continue to make the most of his life right now. Once Bill Spencer gets updates on all the scam details, he'll blow his top. Bill will vow to make sure Grace pays for this and will show flashes of his sinister nature. Next, Sheila Sharp will interrogate Lee Finnegan about why she'd fake her granddaughter's demise. Although Sheila will be relieved now that she's seen Luna for herself, she'll have to cover her tracks. Sheila will be unable to avoid Lee's house during the week of August 18th to 22nd, which will put her in a precarious position. Sheila might try to help Lee take care of Luna, and when Luna comes out of her coma, they'll both ask questions. As a result, Sheila's marriage may suffer as a result of her concealing a significant secret. Back with Brooke, she won't be able to stop longing for Ridge because he won't rush into a romantic relationship with her. That'll be due to Ridge's concerns about breaking Taylor's heart and causing a medical setback with his news. The Bold and the Beautiful say Ridge and Brooke's reunion is still inevitable, but it'll take a little longer to get there than fans might have anticipated. Ridge delays Brooke reunion out of guilt over Taylor. It is revealed in the Bold and the Beautiful that Ridge Forrester will postpone his reunion with Brooke Logan. B&B fans will see Ridge pump the brakes out of guilt over Taylor Hayes, so Brooke will have to wait when it comes to their happy ending. It was simple to sense a shift in the writing following Ridge's dramatic rescue in Naples. Ridge almost lost Brooke, so that really shook him up and made him consider what a life without her would really look like. Once Ridge did CPR and got Brooke breathing again, he realized he couldn't keep taking her for granted. Ridge held Brooke close and seemed committed to fixing their broken relationship, at least that's how he felt in that moment. Of course, reality will set in for Ridge once he flies back to Los Angeles. Ridge will find it difficult to confront Taylor now that he knows Brooke is the one he wants because his fiancée has been waiting for him at home. Since Ridge has broken Taylor's heart more times than he can count, he'll struggle with the thought of doing it again. Ridge may try to come clean about kissing Brooke and having a true love epiphany, but Taylor will still be brimming with excitement over their upcoming wedding. Taylor will act like there's no way that ring's coming off and will play up how Brooke has to find a different future. In the end, Ridge won't be able to go through with dumping Taylor just yet. It's possible Ridge will flat out admit to Brooke that it's because of Taylor's broken heart syndrome and the medical struggles that she's faced. Ridge knows he was a big part of Taylor's pain in the past, so he won't be eager to put her through even more despair. Even if Ridge still plans to end the engagement eventually, he may feel like he has to ease Taylor into this somehow. Ridge will delay the inevitable when it comes to his reunion with Brooke because he won't want to break the news to Taylor out of the blue. It's clear that Ridge and Brooke's destiny has been unlocked thanks to all the Italy drama, but it'll take a little more time before they can fully be together. The Bold and the Beautiful say Brooke will be stuck waiting for Ridge in the meantime, so stay tuned for updates on what's next for these two. After Brooke Logan turns down Nick Maroon's heartfelt yet poorly timed marriage proposal, the entire world of the Bold and the Beautiful seems to shift on its axis, setting off a chain reaction of simmering resentments, hesitant reconciliations, and dangerous liaisons, beginning with the moment Nick sneaks into Brooke's office at Forrester Creations with a kind of quiet, determined swagger that only Nick can muster. His eyes carrying that mix of charm and challenge, as though he believes, deep down, that persistence is the only true currency in love. The engagement ring box is clutched tightly in his palm, and when he opens it under the soft glow of Brooke's desk lamp, the bling catches the light in a way that almost makes her forget how complicated her life is. Yet despite Nick's smooth words about fresh chapters and second chances, Brooke's mind flashes back to Ridge Forrester pulling her from the brink of death in Italy, the salty Mediterranean air filling her lungs only. After Ridge's desperate CPR brought her back, a moment so raw and primal that she knows, without saying it aloud, that her heart belongs to Ridge no matter how many grand gestures Nick attempts, and so she forces herself, gently but firmly, to close the ring box and slide it back toward him with a soft apology, telling Nick she can't give him the future he wants. Not when her heart is still tethered to a man whose love has wounded her as much as it has saved her. Elsewhere, Ridge, freshly returned from the adrenaline of Naples, sits Taylor Hayes down in their living room for what he imagines will be an honest conversation, intending to tell her about that kiss with Brooke, the one that tasted like both danger and destiny, but Taylor is in no mood for confessions, beaming about their engagement and discussing wedding venues with such joy that Ridge falters, unable to bring himself to crush her with the truth, deciding instead to postpone the fallout even though every delay deepens the lie, and while he struggles with his own cowardice, Deacon Sharp is busy at Il Giardino preparing a party whose guest list includes nearly every troublemaker in town, ostensibly to celebrate the success of the Forrester Italy trip or perhaps Liam Spencer's improbable brush with death and survival, though the reasons for celebration are slippery at best. Given that Grace Buckingham's con artistry nearly ruined lives, leaving Liam shaken but determined to live life more fully, Bill Spencer, upon learning every sordid detail, vows to make Grace pay and lets his darker instincts surface, promising retribution in a way that makes even his allies uneasy. Meanwhile, Sheila Carter finds herself cornering Finnegan over the faked death of her granddaughter Luna Nozawa, her voice equal parts fury and disbelief, relieved that Luna is alive yet furious at the manipulation. Though Sheila's own hands are far from clean, and when Luna stirs from her coma, both Lee and Sheila are faced with uncomfortable questions about motives, lies, and the cost of survival. In the midst of all this, Brooke wanders the Forrester corridors feeling the ache of Ridge's absence even though she knows he's only across town, her longing growing heavier each day as Ridge stalls on ending things with Taylor, his guilt sharpened by memories of her past medical struggles and the knowledge that he has been the architect of much of her heartbreak, making him hesitant to trigger another collapse. Taylor clings to her engagement ring as if it were a talisman warding off the inevitable, telling herself that Brooke will have to carve out a different future because she, Taylor, has finally won the man they've both fought over for decades, but destiny, as B&B viewers know all too well, has other plans, and though Ridge and Brooke's reunion feels unlocked by the emotional storm of Italy, the path forward is littered with half-truths, delayed confessions, and the collateral damage of too many intertwined lives. Still, Deacon's party at Il Giardino acts as a pressure cooker, bringing all these simmering tensions into one shared space where sideways glances and overheard snippets threaten to ignite scandals on the spot. Nick nursing his bruised ego while watching Brooke across the room, Ridge unable to take his eyes off her despite Taylor hanging on his arm, Bill watching Grace like a hawk while plotting her downfall, Sheila slipping out the back to avoid questions she's not ready to answer, and Liam laughing a little too loudly as though to prove to everyone, and maybe to himself, that he's grateful for every second he has left. The music swells, the champagne flows, but under the glittering surface the fractures are deepening, and as the night wears on it becomes clear that secrets cannot stay buried for long in Los Angeles. Not when love triangles turn into quadrangles, and every whispered confession has the power to ruin not just a romance, but entire families. So while Brooke walks out of the party under the moonlight thinking only of Ridge's embrace in Naples, Ridge remains inside, trapped between guilt and desire, knowing the clock is ticking on the lie he's living with Taylor, and Deacon, satisfied with the chaos he stirred, pours himself one last drink, toasting silently to the knowledge that in this town, the real drama always begins after the party ends.